Hi everyone, welcome to another session of forensic photography. So we were discussing about the significance of forensic photography. Now in this session we'll see what are the procedure for proper documentation of the forensic or photographic documentation. So forensic photography is essential to document the physical evidence and to handle it in a correct way which later on can be called up in court. So I'll write here photographic documentation. So forensic photography is essential to document the physical evidence and to handle it in a correct way, which later on we can use this in the court while calling for trial of a particular case. So what are the procedures for proper documentation? So let's see what are the procedure for proper documentation. So the main steps for proper documentation are: first one is photograph to be taken in daylight or with background lightning. So you can use background lightning, or otherwise you should use the daylight for photographing. So maybe if you are going to a crime scene in a rainy day, or maybe in night, so that time you can use the background lighting for taking the photographs. And date and scale of reference, date and scale of reference. So photographing the injury with and without evidence ruler, and dates to be done on the particular evidence. So last session I showed you one photo regarding this one. So here they are using scale for a particular evidence, so that it will be easy for taking the photograph. So likewise, only while taking the photograph, for proper documentation you should keep a scale, and without scale also you have to take, and also you have to mention the date of taking the photograph. And the third point to be noted is that identification of a person photographed is important, as it is needed to be prove it in court. So identification of person photographed. So while taking the photo, it should be mentioned that who took the photo, so that the court can call the person at the particular period of time of the trial for the further clarifications. So the identification mark of the person who took the photograph, date and scale for reference should be mentioned. And the fourth thing is that establish authenticity. Establish authenticity. So two elements necessary to establish authenticity are: first one is to record every process done from capturing the image to presentation in court, and the second is to protect the capturing image with brands to prove that it is authentic. So first one is that two things you have to two elements you have to keep to establish the authenticity. First one is that to record every process, and second one is that, like, from capturing the image to the presentation in court, you have to record each and everything. And the next thing is that protect captured image. So this is the 2 points to be remembered for the establishment of authenticity. And the fifth one is chain of evidence. COE. So this is the main procedure in chain of evidence procedure: origin, usage, storage, and processing of evidence with its integrity is clearly documented. So chain of evidence is very important. That is procedure, origin, usage, storage, and processing of evidence with its integrity is clearly documented. So what is the procedure? What is from where is the origin? What is the usage and where we are storing it, and what is the how we are processing the evidence? Everything should be clearly documented in chain of evidence. And the sixth point is storage of images. So here the captured image should transfer to any CDR. So you have to store or transfer the captured image from the camera to any storage device. So it should be stored in a cupboard with limited access. So no one should enter into that one, and you can, if password is there, you can log that one. So that is storage of image. After capturing the image, you should immediately store this or transfer these images to a particular storage device, mainly CDR. And then seventh point is that protecting photographic evidence. Protecting photographic evidence. So photographs reserved in a computer should be protected with passwords with limited access, and special hard disk can also be used for storing the images. So these are the points to be noted while documenting the photographic evidence. So first one is you should take the photo in daylight, and if it is in night or any light is daylight is not that much bright, you can use background lighting. And if it is night also, you can use background lighting for taking the photographs. And while taking the photograph, you have to mention the date of taking that particular photo, and you should keep a scale for reference on the side of this particular evidence. And the next thing is that identification of person photograph. So the person's identity should be mentioned on the particular photograph. This is for the court procedure, like when the court needs any further clarification regarding this particular photo, and then the person who took the photo only can clarify that one, so that they should keep an identity mark on the photograph. And next is the establishing of authenticity. So for establishing the authenticity of the particular photo, two things you have to keep in mind. The first one is that record every process. So from capturing the image to storage and for the transferring, everything you should record, so that there will be an authenticity for the particular thing. And next is protect captured image. So if we need if the thing is deleted or something like that, you should keep a negative or any further copy of that one. So you should protect always the captured image. And the next point is chain of evidence. So in chain of evidence, you should uh, keep the procedure, origin, like from what is this the usage, or from where you are storing it, and what is the process of evidence with integrity and is clearly documented. And the sixth point is that the storage of images. So you should store the images in a CD or any other storage devices after capturing the image. So immediately you have to transfer this to the storage devices. And seventh one, and the most important thing, is that protecting forensic evidences. So after taking the photograph, you have to protect the particular photo of the evidence, and you can transfer this to the storage images, and you can keep a password for a limited access, so that we can protect that particular image. So these are the points should be noted while keeping the photographic documentation. So I hope you understood the procedure. In the next class we will continue. So thank you.